Today we start a very eventful week in the country called Kenya. Top on the agenda is the Jubilee National Delegates Conference, which is due to start any minute now, as I'm making this recording. Of course, I'll do a comprehensive analysis of that later in the day as the very dramatic events unfold there. Then there's another interesting drama unfolding. Her Excellency Susan Kihika, the governor of Nakuru County, has not been seen in public since April 20th this year. That is over a month. I'll cover that briefly in this video. Also in this video, we'll take a look at something else that has unfolded, or rather unfolded late last week, when the Kenyan shilling hit a record high in terms of the exchange rate to the US dollar. We have never been here before, okay? And I'll also analyze that in this information-packed show I have for you today. But first, allow me to give you a heads up. Weekly Intelligence Briefings number 108 is out. And I can't even describe it. Moto kuliko pasi ya makaa. It is beyond that. Okay? In this particular issue of WIB, I cover a highly sensitive topic. Political assassinations. Okay? And there's one unfolding in our country right now, believe it or not. Find out in my latest WIB. You can see the details on your screens right now. Take advantage of this very latest special offer. It is also super fascinating that this latest effort, kumaliza kabisa, is very similar to yet another political assassination that happened some time back, that of Mutula Kilonzo Sr. Okay, those who have taken in my ebook on that topic, very comprehensive, describing the most high-tech political assassination in the history of Kenya, that of Mutula Kilonzo Sr., will know what I mean. By the way, you can get hold of that ebook, details on your screens, in case you've not seen it, because I refer to it in WIB number 108. And it might not be very easy for you to understand even the trends that have been unfolding in our country since 2013. It might not be easy for you to understand and put everything together without the information from this ebook that I did in 2013. Right, let's get down to business. And let's start with this dollar manenos. Explained in simple standard 2 language, because I appreciate we're not all economists. Now, it is worth noting that the slide of the shilling over the last month has slowed down. Okay, so we're talking about a ship which is leaking, and the leak has slowed down, but the ship is still leaking. Okay, there's still water coming into the ship, which can only mean one thing. If nothing dramatic happens to completely stop that leak, then what do you think will happen to the ship? Jijazie mwenyewe. So how was this slide of the shilling slowed down? Let us give credit where it's due. Ruto's economists came up with a brilliant idea of buying fuel on credit, 6 months credit. Okay, now the effect that has is that it does not put pressure on the shilling every month as fuel importers rush to get dollars to import their cargo of shipment of fuel, which is vital in our economy. Indeed vital in any economy, because that's how you transport goods and services. That is how you transport people, etc., etc. You can't do it without petrol. Although sadly, this being a government of perception, it was announced sensationally that the government had worked out a deal to buy fuel in Kenya shillings. That's the story we're told, which is not the whole truth. In fact, it's nowhere near the truth. The true position is that the government has 3 importers, who have been given 6 months credit. They buy the fuel, pay 6 months later. Indeed, the payments are now due in September because we received the first cargo in April. Okay? And then everybody else in the market buys from these 3 importers in Kenya shillings. Okay? So it cannot be true that we are actually buying fuel in Kenya shillings. Can it be? But how does all this affect us? Well, means that everything is going to rise in cost. Prices are definitely going to go up, northwards, all the time. Even for local goods. Even for local stuff manufactured locally, produced locally. Because its costs, including petrol, have gone up. So this is very bad news for all Kenyans. But there's a very important point linked to the slide of the shilling that nobody is discussing. In the 90s, when Kenya had a similar problem and the shilling was rapidly losing value against the US dollar, the situation in the country was very similar to what it is today, politically. What am I saying? The mood and politics, especially the mood caused by the politics, will definitely affect your local currency. Yeah? Especially if that mood is affecting people who do business. And it's affecting them because they have no confidence in the government. They have no confidence in the policies of the government. This will always have an impact on the local currency. Bottom line, Kenya needs to fix its politics and fix its leadership before we can expect to get out of this fall, this problem, this hole of the Kenyan shilling value sliding at a very horrifying and scary rate. Governor Susan Kihika is missing. Where is she? Is she unwell? Why has she not been seen in public? Because her deputy has been covering every function on her behalf, which is not normal. And of course, there's no statement coming out of her family or even the Nakuru County government. In my opinion, this is not the way you run a government, even a county government. You need to keep the public up to speed with whatever developments are taking place behind the scenes. It is difficult to believe the governor has just decided to stay out of sight. Kucheza chini ya maji. No, that is so difficult to believe, virtually impossible. So the county government should come out and tell us what is happening. Of course, I'm digging around furiously, trying to get information. And as soon as I have something that I can confirm, that I can verify from 2 independent sources, you will immediately hear from me. But all the drama and the political action today will be at the Ngong Racecourse, the venue of the Jubilee Party National Delegates Conference. Of course, being hosted by the owner and the founder of the Jubilee Party, retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It was important for me to emphasize that because in all this push and pull, it is very easy to forget the basic facts. And what's more, Raila Amolo Odinga and several Azimio leaders are expected at that Jubilee National Delegates Conference. Now, of course, we all know that this trouble within the Jubilee Party, the former ruling party, is not internal. It has been caused by external factors. No wonder the government has been so involved in the Jubilee Party. And the political objectives are very obvious because the Jubilee Party has its stronghold in the Mount Kenya region. And the UDA government is very sensitive about the Mount Kenya region for the simple reason that the Mount Kenya leaders in UDA from the region are all stooges, robots, put there, placed there. They hardly have any following you can speak of on the ground. They were not popularly elected. Ask anybody in the Mount Kenya region and they will tell you the truth. Leaders in the Mount Kenya region within UDA, the ruling UDA, were elected by the Venezuelans. I'm sure you know what I mean. And therefore, naturally, the government has to be very, very sensitive about anything being organized in the Mount Kenya region that has any semblance of popular support on the ground. Because this can only mean they're stooges and robots because they parrot all the same thing, which they've been instructed by their master. And you know their master. These leaders will be finished. Okay? So of course I'm keeping a very close eye on that NDC. I'm working my contacts furiously on the ground, and I will have a very comprehensive analysis of that after it unfolds. Right. Before I go, quick reminder on weekly intelligence briefings number 108. You can see the details on your screen once again. Don't miss this one for anything. Okay? Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.